Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Blue Exorcist chapter 136. When we last left our heroes, Shiemi made her moves to join the battle, perhaps stepping into the battle by chapter's end. It's a little vague. But Satan continued his whole nihilistic humans are a waste because they fight against the natural order thing. As Yukio and Bon tried to get a shot at him, there was also a bit of a weird writing choice with the Bon Neuhaus bit that I wasn't big on, but whatever, that was 3 months ago. I've moved on. And Rin, though, dealing with Satan's nihilism, says no, we don't have to, it doesn't matter if we defy the natural order, it's okay to be alive. As it does tie very deeply into sort of, as Satan's speech tied into Rin's anxieties in the aftermath of seeing his birth, we get to see Rin grow. After he's literally torn apart by Satan, he puts himself back together to stand against his father once again. So, let's dive right on into chapter 136 of One Cloth, Cutting In. And we open with the ending line from at this point, 3 months ago. It's enough for me, for me and human beings to just live. Don't you get that? But if you still want me to die, and he flings himself at Satan, then I'll punch you out. Always raring to go. That's my boy. But he punches something. Just a big old force field between him and Satan. And is knocked back by it. As Satan looks down, taunting, "Why do you hold on to such unrealistic dreams?" And then we come back to the Grigori Sedes, where it looks like we're talking about Shemihaza again. So, you know, always a suspicious topic. The people are panicking. The ground is cracking! Uh-oh. Protect Shemihaza. So is this part of that blast that like knockback somehow affects the ground, or is it just? It might be that like the barrier that's been protected that has been protecting the Grigori is like continuing to take a pounding from Satan's forces. And then we cut to, I think this is Shora and someone. Because Shora calls back, "Don't stop! Run!" And then, I'm not sure whose Kya this is. It might be Shima. But we see Yukio and Bon are still together. And, like, the hill that Yukio and Bon were watching the battle on starts to crumble. And Konako calls out, "Bon!" And Shima throws him something. "We're gonna die," but still helps him out. He throws, like, his staff. So that Bon can stand on it. But Yukio is also losing his balance. And Neuhaus, now spelled Niehaus, which I don't think is normally how we've been spelling it. Right? I don't think that's right. That feels like a typo. It definitely is a typo. So anyway, Mr. Neuhaus. And we see Neuhaus appear, and he's sort of balancing the rocket launcher. Barely holding on, of course. "Concentrate on Satan. I'll support you." Understood. And with Bon balancing on the rod and Neuhaus balancing on something, Yukio gets back to aiming, and we see Rin, who has fallen on the ground after that pushback, breathing heavy, but still, you know, fairly undeterred. And then, oh no, actually, I think this might be a little bit later, because Rin's been picked up. It's lightning he's with. Well, here we are. And Rin wakes up and looks around him. Huh? Where are we? And we see it's Beelzebub and Osceola, along with lightning. I don't see, Arthur here. Last we left Arthur, he was fighting the, like, Dragulescu abomination thing, which I'm sure is where he's still at now. But Beelzebub tells him, "We're on the back of my pet Beelzebub the Fleshfly King. It's really big." And yeah, it sure does look like a giant bug. But Osceola tells him, "But Lucy broke off." That's interesting. I thought Lucy was, like, barely holding on to life. Like, my impression last we left Lucy was that she would live. but she was not fit to go anywhere. So maybe it was just the doctor sort of took her away. But Lucy broke off, and Arthur is busy with a new opponent. Here's the situation. So listen up. So I guess we have had some time here. And so we need to sort of like sit back and work out what exactly has happened in however long Rin has been out. I guess. And Lightning tells him, for starters, the flying rocks are blocking the sniper and another unit. But I can handle that. But Beelzebub warns him, I doubt that'll be enough. And we see Beelzebub, that little hit he took last chapter has really done a number on him. He's completely bandaged. His bugs are wrapping bandages on him as he speaks. Dad has a barrier around him. Any man-made explosive will go off before it hits him. Like what happened to me. That's an interesting word choice there. Because that kind of implies that Beelzebub is a man-made explosive. Which he's not, but it's an interesting choice all the same. I don't know. But Osceola notes that's right. It repelled me as well. And he might have upped his defense, and Lightning adds in, and he might have upped his defense after getting roasted and regenerating. Interesting. And Osceola reprimands him for his casualness. Lewin. Sorry. I just want to wade through that barrier. And for some reason, Rin perks up there. Wait. The Satan bomb hit, but it didn't do much. So yeah, I guess besides Arthur, is Rin the only one who's gotten a hit on Satan? Like, Arthur disintegrated Satan once or twice. Not that it did much in the end, which means they do have a way through the barrier, right? Because Rin didn't really get any hits on Satan post-regeneration. So, I don't know why they're discounting what Arthur did. I don't know. But Lewin notes, that must mean blue flame penetrates even if physical objects don't. But Rin is just, I don't get all that stuff, but I felt an impact. Maybe it's because the barrier is also blue flame. Is the barrier blue flame? One of the problems with the focus on color in black and white is it's sometimes hard to tell what color things are supposed to be. And Lightning considers that. Makes sense. I think I should get someone back into the battle. Who is that? Is that going to be Arthur? Because again, Arthur was the only person to get a hit on. My other guess might be Shiemi, though she was never in the battle to begin with. But I think it might be Arthur with his sort of Lucifer clone status, as much as Arthur hates that, is going to be an important figure here. But anyway, what was the bug's name? Beelzebub flies near Satan, and Satan looks at the group and just taunts, now what? And Lightning readies an incantation. Lokapala, guardian of the Northwest, ruler of the air, born of breath, the god of wind and seasonal fortune, and so on. Which, love lightning summonings. Come forth, Vayu! And out comes one of his... This is the same spirit that, like, he put with Yukio to help betray the Illuminati, right? I'm remembering that correctly, I think. But anyway, Lightning tells him, we're a bit roughed up and our opponent outclasses us. But let's do this. Unto destruction, and so on. Dust whirlwind! And Vayu swings his little club, gets this little tornado going. And all of the rubble, I see what he's doing. That's what he's talking about with the sniper. He's clearing away the rubble. That's his main goal. Not attacking Satan, but just getting that clearing going. As Yukio notes, yes, I've got a clear field of fire. But Bond tells him that maybe so, but these conditions make getting a hit almost impossible. Yeah, I guess the tornado would maybe do as much harm as good to some degree. And something falls from above Satan towards him, causing Satan to ask, now what? And we see it approach him. It's Rin! Back for another round! You again? Don't you ever give up. And Rin tells him, as long as I'm alive, I'll fight to the death. You should know that. But he's still being repelled by that, by the barrier. we see it feels more like the barrier isn't repelling him, but like he's falling onto it and sort of staying on the barrier. As Lightning tells us, spirit and thought manifest blue flame. If we can wear away Satan's energy and disturb his thoughts, you give us just a slight opening. But now Satan does repel Rin, just yelling, shut up already! And like knocks him out of the sky. Rin is sent flying. And then Satan sees something that surprises him, and it's Osceola heading in for his own attack of Sunfall. That giant bit of fire energy blasting towards Satan. Hopefully disrupting him enough as Lightning calls, now! It's not. For a second I thought it was Yukio's cue, but it's Lucy. We see at the bottom of 19. It's a little black dagger thing she used on earlier in the fight. I remember this. Yeah. Okay. That she used on Satan earlier, and it hits him, or not on Satan, but on a couple of the Demon Kings. I forget which ones, but it does hit Satan. And Lucy riding piggyback on her comrade. I can't believe we're using a wounded old lady. I wonder what Satan's dreams are like. So let's see if that works. He wakes up, though. Or he never quite falls asleep. But he is plagued by visions of his past. Of Shiro and Yuri. And he mutters, and for a second there, apparently the barrier disappears. As Lightning notes, the barrier disappeared. I don't really see the barrier disappearing because it's an invisible barrier, but sure. But, Satan can't quite process the things he's being shown, as he just yells, "What did you just show me? You insects!" And while maybe the barrier is down, Satan is no longer, by any stretch of the definition, contained. So his energy, his lightning energy is just, where we see this bolts of energy, destroying the landscape around him, nearly hitting the sniper team, as Satan just screams, "This is the end! Meet your destruction, humans!" But then a slash passes through him, doesn't do much damage. And he looks back and sees Rin. What? Another fake Satan slash? And Rin tells him, no, this is a Satan blade. And we see from the Coma Sword, he spawns this huge laser beam heading towards Satan. And we can just it feels like an actual weight, not like a lightsaber where the beam is just light, but all of that flame has the weight of a giant sword. He really stresses, he really has to struggle to drag it. And he throws it down in their third straight 2-page spread. As it hits Satan at the very end of that big old blade with the barrier down. It gets a hit on Satan. And it does real damage to him. And Rin calls Yukio. And Satan just stares up at him. And back with the sniper gang. Oh, no. This is the moment Satan finally realizes that Yukio is there, as he's caught in the Satan blade. You four-eyed dweeb. Which is a hell of an insult for the King of Hell, but okay. And Yukio just tells him, hello, Satan. You let your guard down. And he fires the rocket. Which badass lines of all time right there. And the rocket fires, it drops some of its back end and powers on through towards Satan. And then I think he destroys it? Or was it meant to, I can't quite, I don't know enough about the mechanics of rocket launchers to know if we're supposed to read this last moment as a success or a failure. Because it's where the chapter ends. As it's approaching him, Satan still looks like almost panicked at this, but also the rocket is in pieces. But also earlier, in the previous page, it was sort of jettisoning parts of itself to increase its speed. So it might be in the end that it's just like the explosives are just in the tip that are right next to Satan right now. So it might be a success. It's a little bit hard to tell, to be perfectly honest. Still, really fun chapter. After basically 3 months away, it's nice to have BE back. 3 months so close, so soon after its like 8-month hiatus, 9-month hiatus, I think. I forget the full details there. So yeah, it's a damn good chapter. I do wish we got a little bit more of Shiemi. And it is very much just kind of a fight chapter. It's a well thought out fight chapter. There's some good strategy here in the tornado to get away the rubble, in all of the efforts to like upset Satan. He's like just barely pissed off enough that the barrier kind of wavers after Rin and Osceola's attack, allowing Lucy to get in that dream hit, which, even if I'm not, given I wonder what Satan's dreams are like, the line Lucy has, I don't think any of them quite expected what Satan would see. None of them knows at this point. They weren't planning to dredge up all of those old memories from SSC. But it sure got the job done. Especially and then also allowed Rin to, with the Satan blade, kind of hold him in place as he sort of, has a sword stuck in him. He can't really move very well. Allowing Rin to get allowing Yukio to get that great hit. Though again, not quite clear if it worked or not. And either someone who understands explosives better than I do, or either someone like that will come in and tell us how we should read that last panel, or we'll have to wait a month to find out. But yeah, it's a sort of chapter where there isn't like that much to really dig into. It's a really fun read. It's a really fun fight. It's a really fun, like, bit of strategy that all comes together in a really neat way, with some good implications. There's an interesting implication, actually, before I call the video. I want to take a moment on that dream bit. The fact that his reaction is not like, how dare you show me my past? Because he's implied up to this point that he remembers his past. Like, that's been my implication. I think that's kind of been everyone's implication here. But then there's that, what did you just show me? As if he doesn't remember. As if he doesn't know what he just saw. And it might just be such a quick flash of images, he hasn't quite worked it out. But I don't know. I'm a little curious. I'm a little interested in the idea that he's forgotten. That he that there was some truth to the prior Satan's love of Yuri. It was, as I recall, absolutely founded on a deeply inappropriate obsessiveness, but there was something true to it, deep in its core, and that this Satan has cast that aside. That in this incarnation he has tossed all that aside, and that maybe there is, dredging those feelings back up might be a help to him in some way. I don't know. I don't want to give the impression that I'm like forgiving the shit he pulled in the end of SSC, because of course not. This isn't he was actually a good lover for Yuri, because no. But just like that, maybe there is a genuine affection there that maybe we can use to, I don't know, banish him back to hell? It's a little bit unclear. But anyway, it's a really fun chapter. And I'm after yet another hiatus, I'm glad we're back, because this chapter just hits. It hits all the right places. So with that said, I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you'll enjoy the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe, or, do whatever makes it happy, And as always, your life is your own, okay? Bye!